It's about achieving potential.
Helping people where they are and helping people get to where they want to go.
Breaking the cycle of deprivation and poverty.
Helping vulnerable people.
Addressing conflict.
A more positive future for everyone.
Fundamentally founded in relationships.
Improving people's lifestyles.
Helping families to blossom.
Drawing alongside people and empowering them to make positive choices to reach their full potential.
Recognising skills, attributes and strengths.
Strengthening individuals and families.
Providing transitional support and empowerment.
A cradle-to-grave approach.
Providing space and time for reflection.
And promoting positive family dynamics and choices.
It's about this community in Ballysally.
At the time there were various groups in the local area delivering nurturing projects under DSD funding, but it tended to be isolated within each individual setting, and we looked at a better model of delivery that would enhance the service for local people and would also lead to a partnership working amongst the local groups. So if you have a family within the local area who have young children, they can access some of the services here at Focus on Family through the nursery. If they have children at primary age, they're getting support at the primary school, the teenagers are working perhaps through the church, and then parents are getting support again through the different organisations. So it's not just really looking at one aspect of the family unit or one individual within that, but it's really looking at an overall approach, a holistic approach to support.
He walked off in a bad temper. And I would just, whatever, walk on. But I didn't. I went into him and I said, look, I'm sorry I didn't listen to you. And I gave him a hug. And I said, I will fix it. As soon as I get 5 minutes, I will fix it. Because if I hadn't done that, which that is what we were learning here, that would have been him in a bad temper the whole night.
Unlike a parenting programme, it's based on self-awareness and self-esteem. Knowing ourselves, our likes, our dislikes. I run the programme, it's a 10-week programme, and it's 2 hours each week, and it's for any parent at all. It was short.
It's okay. Do you know what? You seem really upset. I'll get your wee bag and set up here. Would you like a wee drink and we'll sit down and talk about it?
All right.
Will that be okay? I know, but that'll be fine. So sort it out, okay?
We have a lot of role plays, and it brings it to life what you do, and that's very important. The praise bit, the listening, the attention that you give to children, and the frustration it creates if they don't get the attention.
Doing this programme, that you realise that consistency is the key. If you've a role in place and they respect that role and they've a role even for you, it helps sometimes the child says no shouting. You break the shouting rule, you have consequence. So it means it's a family.
We can give them ways in dealing with their anger, what triggers their anger, and that's a big thing as well. With young children, they haven't got the words, so you'll maybe get a reaction like to be tearful or upset tummies or whatever. But with older children now, within P5s, P6s that we work with, is to realise what the triggers are and how they can act in a healthy way.
Ballysally Integrated Nurturing Project has made an immense difference to our children, our parents and families, and our staff in Ballysally Nursery School. Children are supported and nurtured so that their time at nursery is a positive experience, not only when they start, but also throughout their year at nursery, and any little issues can be ironed out. We have a transition support worker called Glynis who follows the children up in September and making sure that that transition is a positive one also.
Whenever the children are coming into primary one, I find that as a result of the nurturing programme and a transition, the children are definitely happier coming into primary one. That's primarily down to the fact that for 2 months I have been coming down once a week for half an hour to visit the children in their familiar surroundings, and as a result of that they're more familiar with myself. Then also we have a summer school, and that has allowed the children to come into their new surroundings but not feeling in any way threatened, feeling feeling more settled simply because they're the only ones in the building, and the parents are happy as well because they have also had an opportunity to get to know me.
Glynis then can act as a liaison between the primary one staff and the home, and we find that valuable to our service in nursery.
Over the years, we've recognised that people who are suffering because of the impacts of multiple social deprivation and the impact of the Troubles, they need focused and specific support and nurturing. And the idea behind that nurturing is that they need to be encouraged, they need to be supported so that they can grow and develop and achieve their potential.
Because of what happened past, I have a stammer. Since nurturing, I am now a facilitator, so I can actually stand up now and actually take a full class, but I don't stammer whenever I take a full class. So it's more confidence in me.
The key to success in helping people who are disadvantaged is to be alongside them for a long haul. It also makes sense for us to try and help people cope with the reality that unemployment is probably going to be a large part of their experience. And so it's helping them to develop the kind of understanding of themselves that enables them to thrive and grow even if they don't have paid employment. That enables them to see and understand that they have skills, that they have experiences, they have an outlook that can contribute positively to the life of the whole community of Ballysally. And to help them to see the value of that, to help them to find ways and contexts in which they can make that contribution, and to kind of deliver them from the idea that if they're not in paid employment, they're hopeless or worthless. That's certainly not the case. One of the major aspects of our contribution to the project is our youth work, and it's youth work not simply for church kids. It's not for church kids, it's for the community. And our experience is that most of the teenagers in the local community are coming in and out to programmes that we're running. So we run youth clubs, which are a safe place to socialise and develop skills and abilities. But we also have a mentoring programme with young people where we visit them and their families, very often young people who have very difficult backgrounds and are dealing with very difficult emotional issues.
The youth workers have been most benefit to me with, I have depression, and they have come in and out of my house and helped me through my depression.
There was times I really felt like giving up and just packing it all in, but she told me like if I stuck at it and worked hard enough, I could go on to university, I could achieve my dreams of becoming a teacher, whether I struggled or not. So yeah, I was cheered by people in the church who got me extra help and support.
That visiting programme starts often with the young people, but it includes wider family groups. Sometimes we're negotiating where there's been a fallout between individuals in the community to try and help negotiate a problem so that it doesn't become much more serious or doesn't degenerate into other things. We've had feedback from the PSNI, which has been really encouraging in terms of the reduction in reported crime in Ballysally. And they see that the constructive activities that we're providing are taking young people off the street, getting them out of antisocial behaviour and helping them to make a positive contribution.
Ballysally children are in the top 4% of most socially deprived areas where income affects the household and affects children per se. So within that context, we realise that Ballysally pupils often have many needs that maybe are not in more affluent areas. Children themselves are lovely children, they're very vibrant children, they want to engage, but often there are social and emotional issues which prohibit them learning to the way which we would want whenever they present in school initially. So nurturing really allows us to help address at its earliest stage within their school experience those difficulties, particularly with social issues. Maybe they're very introverted, often they're very extrovert, and maybe behaviourally they find it very difficult just to relate to other children in the class. And the staff here, we have them trained in a specific programme where the nurturing is tailored to their individual needs. and we use a Boxhall profile which charts their progress over 4 terms very, very specifically, and we look at detail to the nth degree in how we can help and put strategies in place which will help the child most make progress socially and emotionally. As a collective group, the Integrated Nurturing Project, we care. Just one example that comes to mind is a little boy who presented in school, primary 1. He would have been quite, I suppose, violent in that he would have thrown chairs across the classroom. And whenever we assessed him in the Boxhall scale, he would have been very, very high in terms of anger management issues, around 24 on the Boxhall profile. Intensive work was done with that child throughout primary 1 and primary 2. Tracked his progress right throughout primary 7. And actually that child, we know, had he not had nurture intervention, would have been a school refuser and possibly would have been suspended and possibly expelled. The reality is, by the time he left primary 7, his level was down to that of 3 on the Boxhall profile. In terms of his literacy and numeracy skills, he was working at an average child's ability. Now again, without having had that intervention early on, that child would not have been in school. And again, it's a real success story. There are many others, countless others, that I could mention. Nurture is successful. Nurture makes a difference. Nurture impacts lives. And actually, it saves money in the long term because it means that there's less interventions much further on and we're getting to the heart of the issue earlier.